Her opening track Hopelessness is really hypnotizing, and her voice is really nice sounding against this airy, plodding guitar and drum instrumentation that I really enjoyed. Throughout the whole song, I felt like I was listening to a female Kurt Cobain, in the sense that her lyrics, guitar playing, and instrumentation on the track makes me think that Nirvana would play something like this, especially towards the ending with that wailing, dissonant guitar noise. Trust me, the Nirvana grunge comparisons will be many throughout this album. City Looks Pretty is one of my new all-time favorite songs ever. Something about it is so inviting, nice, and awesome to jam to, but the lyrics are what seal the deal for me. The second verse especially, with the lyrics dealing with her feeling alienated by her friends after being gone for so long from home, only to then say that strangers treat her like their best friend, being polite and friendlier than her own friends. Pretty crazy to think about. The delivery in this track is great as well, with her last line on the second verse being my favorite. Something about her saying Dismal Day on the same beat as the drums just feels great to listen to. And I can't forget about the change up at the end of the song, going from a straightforward alt-rock feel to a dreamy, shoegazy feel, with Courtney ending with a melancholic line about being whatever her partner wants her to be, but it not being enough. I don't know, man, but this track is fucking awesome through and through. This reminds me of the old tracks you would listen to in a skateboarding game or something, like Tony Hawk or on the main menu of a Madden game. It's got that old 2000s feel about it. I just can't put it into words better than that. The lyrics again are what make this track so great. For anyone suffering through depression or anxiety, I think the third verse perfectly sums up what I think a lot of us are going through. Feeling fearful of stuff we shouldn't be, not knowing that many people feel the same way, and at the end of the day, we're still the same person, just going through a rough time at the moment. Another great song. A dreamy, rocky little number that seems to be talking about her trying to take a break from something. Maybe someone, maybe even herself. I don't really have a lot to say about this one because it's pretty bare bones, honestly. Singing about taking a break from herself and her lover or project, and feeling like she's got this big weight on her, which makes sense since she started her own label, Milk Records, and has subsequently signed on more and more artists since its creation in 2012, along with releasing her own material on her label. Juggling being an artist on your own growing label must be hectic. Making sure your output as well as your fellow musicians keeps constantly coming out, as well as managing the growth. I can only imagine how stressful it must be for her. But yeah, it's a nice song, if not a little sparse. Also, it's one of Barack Obama's favorite songs from 2018. Pretty sweet. What a hectic sounding track, and for good reason. Kicking off with a loud driving riff that suddenly veers off into a kinda Beach Boys 60 inspired vibe, complete with harmonizing vocals. Okay. But then it goes into the riff from the opening and it suddenly takes a more alt-rock feel, with Courtney's voice being augmented and distorted, singing about wanting to walk in the park, but being afraid of being assaulted, or worse. The lyrics themselves borrowing a phrase from Margaret Atwood. The song was written about the fears that women go through when wandering at night alone, and the toxic behavior that may have led the man or woman assaulter doing the things that they do. And in the lyrics, she even tries to tell them that she's sorry for whatever happened to them, but still doesn't give them the right to do whatever they want to an unsuspecting victim, just to feel some semblance of happiness or satisfaction. Her pre-chorus perfectly sums it all up. Holding your house keys in between your fingers like an improvised weapon was, for a long time, a means to defend yourself more effectively against someone. I mean, imagine getting not just punched, but also jabbed with steel-pointed keys. It's like hitting someone with brass knuckles, albeit a bit more pointed and not flat. The lyrics are pretty heavy, and the subject is one that has never went away, and continues to plague many people's thoughts. How many of you don't like to walk in the middle of the night, wondering just what might be out there waiting to get you or sneak up on you? You can't see it, and you most definitely won't get its name. A good song. The most Nirvana-esque track of the whole album. It's also the shortest song for some reason. This sounds like something that could be off of Heart Shaped Box or even Bleach. It's fast-paced, rockin', and just a jam, man. The lyrics deal with the alpha male, female stereotype that either sexes can display when they try to push around someone they identify as weaker than them, showing their toughness by trying to push around someone that's of lower status or someone that they feel doesn't belong. It's a really nice song that deals with this growing bullshit. Mix in the distorted guitar, pounding drums and bass, and you got a song that, while short, is exactly what you need to hear. Great song. A kinda upbeat sounding song considering the material it's talking about. Just like the title suggests, this one's about having doubts in yourself and lacking confidence in every little thing you do. Her singing about avoiding the truths in another person, not speaking what she wants just to make them feel special or important, really sticks out, as well as the chorus with her singing that she doesn't know anything. I'm guessing this could be used as like a coping mechanism or something whenever someone gets heated towards her or whatever. Or maybe I'm just digging way too deep there. Either way, a very nice song with a very upbeat feel. The instrumentation is nice, the lyrics are nice, it's just a nice song. A jangly, kinda 90s feeling song that has some nice guitar work and singing from Courtney. The lyrics, what I think, is about dealing with pressures while at the same time hoping for some validation for the hard work put into whatever she's working on from others. Trying not to get swamped, but at the same time, humble enough to accept any challenge. Not trying to get swallowed up in it all. Kind of a slow burn, but the lyrics are fine and the instrumentation is straightforward and not bad at all. A song dealing with her relationship to her significant other, her girlfriend and fellow musician Jen Clower. Dealing with the hardships she goes through in her own way, feeling not that special, but whatever she has to give, she'll give it gladly. Also, the lyrics about her not saying anything so she won't hurt Jen's feelings is pretty sad, but also kinda cute in a sense. She's willing to put up with a lot, just to see her other half be happy and content. The instrumentation is pretty mellowed out compared to the last few songs, with the piano leading most of the track, her guitar work being more restrained, but still rocking, and her pining lyrics meld together really well. This song reminds me a lot of a Leonard Skinner song for some reason. Maybe it's the kinda soft rock piano thing, or maybe even the violins coming in here and there at certain points. But maybe it's just me. Another solid track. The most vibey and chilled out track on the whole project. This one is an ode to friends and good times with loved ones. And it feels that way. Like you're in that special place with the ones you're always happy to be around with. Chilling out by a bonfire or barbecuing or whatever. Just taking in the scenery and sharing laughs and stuff. It's a very introspective track. According to Courtney, she's had the main guitar riff in her head since about high school, so to go on for years until now with this riff still fresh in your head is pretty impressive. Not much to say about this track. It's a feel-good cookout jam that's about friends, good times, and hopefully more to come. A very introspective track. Usually when I listen to a new artist, it sort of takes a lot longer for me to enjoy than an artist I've already listened to time and time again. It happened to me when I was younger with Stone Temple Pilots, recently with Interpol, Kendrick Lamar, Childish Gambino. Yeah, I could go on. But for me to actually listen to this album front to back and enjoy it all the way through with no problem from an artist I knew next to nothing about was great. I gotta give a shout out to Lilike's music for getting me more interested into what kind of artist she is, as well as exposing me to her music in general. After seeing his video, which is great by the way, as well as his others, go check him out, I searched her up and started listening to her album with Kurt Vile, Lotta Sea Lice, which was amazing. After that, I listened to some sporadic songs here and there, but none of her other full albums, until this one. After listening to this one, it got me to go check out her other albums, and that usually never happens with a new artist, but here we are. But yeah, this album is a really nice listen. It's got some hard rocking songs, introspective songs, songs with messages about facing adversity and winning, or in some cases just putting up with the adversity for the sake of someone else's feelings. It's got a lot of stuff to offer. That being said, if you've never heard of Courtney Barnett before this, I gotta say you should probably check out her first album to see what she's all about. Because I can kinda see how her monotonish and rambling vocals can throw off a few people. And that's kind of a hard thing to say about this album as well. Even when she's yelling and being aggressive on the track Not Your Mother, her vocals don't really change from being this monotone voice. Well, except for the fact that she's now being a little bit louder and a little yellier. But I've been rambling long enough. I give this album a 7 out of 10. An album that has a lot of things going for it, as well as just being a nice listen. The only thing I can really say that's kind of a bad thing is that Courtney's voice can sometimes get a little tiresome to listen to. Maybe it's just due to her singing style, but even then it's not that much of a distraction from some really nice songs. And what a collection of songs this album has. Songs to chill out to, songs to rock out to, I mean, what more can you want? So thanks for watching, have a great day, be safe, and as always, peace.